as you're just like passing by, you see that there is basically like a makeshift like jail cell that has been finally, it's been like a day and a half assembled, and it's got like metal rods, and they're sort of just like hammering in the final pieces to be assembled. It's like this wooden like room, and you see Brogram over there with like the prisoner that you guys found. Yes, the Black Fog pirate that is now a prisoner that they're probably going to be putting in there. You see this like a couple halflings and Calantha are there, and they're just sort of putting the finishing touches on this, waiting for it to be done. Like the sort of waves and smiles off to you, Lunaris, and you guys.
She hides her necklaces in her little pouches.
She just kind of like smirks and shakes her head and looks back to the work that she's doing. Over by the ship, there are a few people lined up, and you see Captain Grylan is there talking to 4 individuals right now. Not on the ship, but off. They're just sort of chatting. Assume you're going up to them?
Yes, I'll greet them.
Princess? Morning.
Captain. Good morning, Captain.
Line up, come on. And you see the 4 of them like line up. And like, you know, some of them are like very like rigid, and you know, you do see one of the people is the sea elf man that you danced with, actually. There is a water genasi woman, which is basically like an elemental person, that sort of is a cross between like a humanoid elemental, basically. You can kind of look how they look if you want. You can Google it. But yeah, and then you also see 2 tritons, a man and a woman, and one of them is like basically just like snuffed his pipe out and is like pocketing it for later. And that guy is probably the least rigid of all of them, as he's like a little bit hunched over, like with his not old age but older age, I would say. Well, these are who I assembled. I can introduce you to them, or you can go about this however you wish.
Family?
Why did you choose these 4?
Good sailors, trustworthy people, and combat ready.
Trustworthy to your kingdom? Or to the crew?
To the crew, I would say. She kind of like looks over to them, and you can kind of see her like staring daggers over at them. To the crew.
Look at Ren. Do you know any of them?
I had a brief encounter with the sea elf during the festival.
He sort of bows very deeply.
What kind of encounter?
We shared a dance or 2.
I haven't even done that with Calantha and Maria yet.
I think you've done more than dance with them at this point in time. Like dinner.
Okay, princess. Can Lunaris walk down the line of people and like give a little sniff test?
A sniff test?
Yeah.
Hey, give me a perception check.
Ask them if they bathe.
That's fair.
9.
9. Okay. So the water genasi kind of smell. I mean, they all have sort of the like smell of the ocean, if you will. But she especially like she just smells like water, basically, like whatever, like ocean water, essentially. The sea elf man smells kind of like of some kind of like a cologne or perfume or something, a fine fragrance, basically. But it is quite a bit overpowered by the man who's standing next to him, who smells like you know, some kind of nicotine or, you know, drugs. Tobacco. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. That's the word I was looking for, and I couldn't fucking remember it. And the final woman doesn't have much of a smell, but is like clearly of decent hygiene, but also kind of has like that sailor ocean scent.
Lunars points to the sea elf. He smells the best. That's all she offers.
He's like,
That's fair.
thank you.
Trust us, it is a compliment.
I go over to the smoker. Do you share your smokes?
Depends on who's asking.
What if I was asking?
Do you provide smokes? Or would I be
Nope.
buying my smokes for myself?
She's
Actually
the
do.
princess.
For her? Sure.
The work we don't want to do.
Thank you, thank you.
And I guess the man would be like, I work some time as a swabby, but not for a while.
What position do you typically hold on the ship?
Currently gunner.
Sai, you worked with a gunner, right?
Eh,
That wasn't you?
here and there. More of a brute, kind of
Oh, that's
on
right.
the, yeah. But Sai doesn't really care to step up to take a closer look, but he sort of chimes in. Most importantly, can you all fight? What's your experience on the battlefield?
Captain Gryland speaks up. They have all seen combat before.
How many battles have they fought?
Suppose they'll have to answer that one. Gila Rezi, or excuse me, you wouldn't actually know their names. The Water Genasi woman, because you guys didn't ask. Water Genasi woman speaks up for the first time. I've seen a few. 3 or 4. And the Sea Elf man kind of speaks up. I've only seen one on our way here. Then the guy who introduces himself as a gunner. Too many to count. I don't know. 50, 40, 60?
I hate that I love this fucker.
I don't know.
I throw my hand up. If I get a vote, I'm voting for the gunner.
And then the
Your name,
woman,
sir?
Rylon Demarst.
I just shake his hand really quick and then get back to the line like I haven't picked a favorite.
Fine handshake, sir. And then the last woman. I have seen combat a few times. I fought Captain Dryland in the tournament a few times. She defeated me, but I showed her enough of a difficulty that she asked for me to be on board.
In what position do you normally hold on a ship?
I'm a swabby.
Oh yeah, I think we did ask
I am
that.
quite nimble and fast, so easy to get up and down.
We already got one rat.
Did you say that out loud?
Quietly to my crew.
Roll perception
Stealth?
for her. Yeah. Yeah, give me a stealth check. I
I'm
rolled
using
good.
luck. That
I
was
rolled good. You should use luck.
10 out of a Sigma.
Say Sigma.
Sigma. So, what was it? Stealth or sleight of hand?
Stealth.
Thank God. 20. God, I can't count. 21.
Okay, you
21.
beat her. She kind of like looks over at you, but doesn't notice what you say.
Any more questions, family, or should we chat about it and then come back? Do a little team meeting.
I don't mind asking all of them to come on board at this point in time.
I don't care who we pick, as long as they can fight and handle themselves on the ship. I'm
No
fine with
payment?
whoever.
Right?
Yeah, that was previously discussed with Captain
Correct.
Arnera and
They will get a. Did I say 2? Okay, wait. Out of game. Did I say year or 2 year? I can't remember.
a year.
Year, right? Okay.
Sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. A year-long stipend.
And Captain, what happens if Ren decides that she no longer needs their service?
They should have
Will
enough.
there be pushback from you?
I suppose it would be out of my hands by then, but if they no longer need service, I would assume that you all would provide them with some kind of passage, or at least get them to a place that they could buy passage back to Zyria.
Okay.
Or to do whatever they wish, but I'm sure it would be good to send a letter of some kind.
How am I supposed to communicate with you?
You aren't. I assume you would be communicating, if anyone, with your brother, as this is more or less his choice. More or less.
Ren's gonna look like a spoiled child again. And she's gonna I don't want to talk to him.
Then don't.
Okay, I appreciate you, Captain.
Of course, Princess.
All right, family meeting. Stay
Before
here.
you go, I will say, Gilarezi, she points to the water genasi, and by year, my finest brute. Hamaidu all, points to the elf man, is a spellcaster and capable with a blade. And a capable swabby. Rylon de Marst, maybe a bit brash around the edges, but he can work any position on the ship, as long as you provide him alcohol and tobacco.
Double my vote.
Delia Morai
Don't tell them that.
is also a capable swabby. Is stupid fast with a blade. Wanted to fill any gaps.
Thank you,
Thank you for the
Captain.
information.
It's a pleasure
course.
to meet you all.
Most of them bow, except for the
Smoker.
the smoker, yeah, who sort of takes his hat off and kind of a pleasure. It's back on. Are you guys walking off?
Just out of ear's reach, right?
I'm good with that, yeah.
All right, what are we thinking?
The swabby guy who's seen a lot of battle, if I'm good with him. Seems like there'll be no complaints. Yeah, easy maintenance.
I was thinking the gunner and the quick one.
Okay.
They seem capable.
I was
I mean,
thinking
Ren,
the
you do
sea
make-
elf. Oh,
No, please go.
I was thinking the sea elf that smells real good.
I think it might be beneficial to have a wizard on the ship. I'm not too sure if I like the attitude of the gentleman. May he be he may be experienced, but I don't know.
He didn't even bow. You saw
I try
that?
not. I try not to hold formalities too personally, especially since I've technically left that position. But yes, he did not bow.
Right, I saw that.
To be fair, he was already hunched over to begin with.
So,
He was already like
posture-
this, and he was just like.
I mean, Ren, you make a good point. Why not all four?
Like,
We're already gonna have them on the ship. If one of them's gonna snitch,
I think the only time that it would become a problem if it does come down to their loyalty and our need to assert our seriousness, to say it lightly, having four may be more of a rough encounter than two. But it shouldn't come to that.
if you think there's a chance it will come to that,
I
I'd rather
don't
take
believe
none.
So. I don't believe so. I'm just trying to assess all possibilities, seeing that you never know which way things could go. Even within our own crew, we've come across surprises. So I'm fine with all four, especially if they're being paid. Apparently, that's a thing that happens. So out of sight, out of mind in my case.
What do the rest of you think?
Well, I don't see much of a downside with all four of them. It's just no matter what, a lot of mouths to feed. I guess I'm still getting used to the idea of all the new crewmates. I personally ran a small crew before myself, or was part of a small crew. I think it could be beneficial, and as the captain said, we just have to pay them passage if we decide otherwise. Maybe if that's even just two of them. Say we don't need all four later.
Yeah.
But I think for now, the more the better.
Lunaris?
Yeah, the more the better. I like that rationale.
We do need the hands.
We should see if one of them can cook, because we do not have a cook. I think one of them said they have done many positions.
The one that said they're willing to be paid in alcohol and tobacco?
I think that's the one.
I guess maybe I misspoke. He just wants to make sure that there's access to it. So you don't need to buy it for him. You just need to get him to pour often enough to buy it for himself. I guess I should have said
Oh.
that. Yeah, he just needs to make sure that he can get it. He just doesn't want to be in the open ocean for fucking 3 months.
I love him again. Yes, okay.
Because they're getting paid for a year. So they're probably gonna have more than enough money to buy their own alcohol. And...
Well, I hope so. They're getting paid for a year. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I see no downside at this point in time, and I'm happy that we've all come to a similar mentality when it comes to taking in more crew. Would it be an issue when it comes to feeding, though?
Hopefully not if we have a cook.
I mean, that doesn't mean we have the supplies.
We don't have like a lot of supplies. Period. We're gonna have to buy food, aren't we?
We have 1 barrel of food.
I don't see why we have to provide for everyone. They could help pitch in. You know, they could feed themselves as well,
With
Or
what
help-
food
help-
on the...
or help us gather food.
DM, and all the ships that Tetra's been on, has she ever had to pay for food?
No. No.
I don't know if people would want to be on our ship if we didn't feed them. I don't know if they could be on our ship if we didn't feed them.
I think food should be provided. That's the least we could do. And if it comes to fishing like I have in the past, I don't mind it. But since we are in port, I think we should stock up on barrels of food going forward. Whatever the town can offer us, because I know they're not in the best shape.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, they could help us fish for food, or go out and...
You can always ask if
Other-
any of them are hunters or fishers or...
Bro.
Should we buy fishing rods? Okay, Ollie said that, but Ren said, and Ren's gonna say, I know we have a fishing net, but should we buy fishing rods going forward?
That'd be a good thing to pick up before we set out.
Okay, so making a little bit of a to-do list. What we should get with the idea that we will be leaving. Fishing rods, barrels
Tanner.
of food, Tanner, bagels potentially.
The promise of bagels. We'll go as far as that.
Okay.
I'll handle the bagels.
Okay, so should we tell the captain that we'll house all
Any
4?
objections?
No, I think we tell the captain, have him be ready by the end of the day. At the latest. Or at the earliest, I guess.
At sundown, we should sail.
Lunaris, is there any business that you need to attend to before we go?
My friend I told you about. I have to talk to her.
That's fair. Yeah, what time is it?
I mean, it's early morning, like probably like whatever time you guys would have gotten up at, maybe 10 a.m. 9, 10 a.m.
I'm fine with splitting up tasks if means we could all get what we want done. Ren and I already have experience with that shopkeep. If we want to look for fishing rods.
That's perfect. I'm honestly just anxious to get off into the sea.
So, we need barrels of food. Would anybody take charge of that?
I can, but I feel like, am I gonna have to go to the farms?
Lunaris, you seem familiar with the farmer family prior. Is that something that you would be capable of doing?
Yes. You're talking about the Wormsmerks?
I believe so.
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, because we are looking for... Wait, Ren wouldn't know, like, how far the Morani Isles, like, are, right?
Probably
how
not,
long?
but somebody else could. What would that be? General intelligence check, I guess. If someone else would want to do that from here, or you could ask around. People could probably. Maybe people around here might know.
Okay, so Ren's just gonna open it up to the group. Does anybody know how long it would take us to get to the Marani Isles? Because we need to have food. Enough for that, and then a little time over.
What check is it, DM?
General intelligence check.
Who's smart? Be honest.
Petra's smart, but she's not rolling well. 10.
21.
With a 21, just what you've heard in passing from maps that you've seen, hearing that you guys are probably somewhere around the southern end of the Broken Reach. Man, I'm about to pull up a map. That hasn't happened in so long.
Because we made a home here.
I know, but you guys are probably somewhere around the southern edge of the Broken Reach. So that probably puts you around. If you're at like the southern end, which it doesn't seem like you are, it seems like you're maybe like 100, 200 miles from the total end of that. Probably like 600, 700 miles from the Ronnie Isles. And if you're running the ship day and night, that would probably put you at. Oh god, math. What was it? 7 on average. If it's completely clear weather, probably make the trip in a week. If it's completely clear weather.
Okay.
Maybe a
so-
little under a week. Like 6 days, if it's clear weather.
A week and a half's worth of food, roughly. Ollie's saying this, not Ren.
And
It's
DM,
just-
is there
Yes.
is there any check I can do, like, to know barrels of food wise, like how long or how many barrels we would need for that one?
Yeah, give me a intelligence check for that, because Freya needs to look up how much barrel of food.
Okay. I was looking at our notes. We do have 1 barrel of food. We gave 6 out of the 7 to the town. And I'll even
Yeah.
say to the group, maybe that's something we could, or Ren and I can buy back from Marty on the way, like, to the shop. If it's still housed there.